Hi, my name is Michaela, and today we're going to be learning about the basics of neural networks by learning about perceptrons. Today we are surrounded by artificial intelligence and machine learning. The applications of these two are endless. To better understand these technologies, we must look at neural networks. Neural networks are a means of doing machine learning, in which a computer learns to perform some task by analyzing training examples. Neural networks are modeled off of the neural networks of the human brain. To understand them, we will first look at one artificial neuron, a perceptron. A perceptron produces a binary output by using several binary inputs. In this image, there are three inputs. The output is computed by assigning weights to the inputs. These weights show which inputs are most important in influencing the output. We then assign a bias to determine how easy or difficult it will be to get the neuron to fire. To determine if the perceptron fires, we use this inequality. 0 if the dot product of the weight and the input plus the bias is less than or equal to 0, and 1 if it is greater than 0. To get a better idea on how perceptrons make decisions, let's look at this scenario. Suppose you heard there's going to be an outdoor music festival in your city. You like listening to music and are trying to decide whether to go to the festival. You might make your decision by weighing three factors. We can represent these factors with corresponding binary variables. X sub 1 equals 1 if the weather is good, 0 if the weather is bad. X sub 2 equals 1 if your best friend wants to go, 0 if not. X sub 3 equals 1 if it is near public transportation, and 0 if not. Now let's say you love music, so much so that you would go to the festival even if your best friend doesn't go with you, and the festival is hard to get to. Although you love music, you hate bad weather, so you wouldn't go if the weather is bad. To model this type of decision, we're going to use a perceptron. Since the weather is super important to you, we're going to give it a weight of 6. Then we're going to assign a weight of 2 for the other conditions. This shows how the weather matters the most to you. We're then going to choose a bias of -5 for the perceptron. If the weather is good, then the perceptron outputs a 1, regardless of the other two factors. If the weather is bad, then the perceptron outputs a 0. We could change the model of decision making by changing the weights and bias to account for the importance of different factors and our willingness to go. This example was a simple decision, but by combining perceptrons, we can create a multilayer perceptron to solve complex problems. These are composed of the input layer, hidden layers, and the output layer. Each layer sends its output to the next layer until the final output layer where a decision is reached. This example only has a few perceptrons and layers, but multilayer perceptrons could contain many more perceptrons and layers. Multilayer perceptrons are basic forms of neural networks. Neural networks learn by discovering better weights that result in more accurate predictions. Whereas we assign weights in our example, algorithms could use data to determine the best weights. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about neural networks and perceptrons.